know you've just been talking to survivors. What has it meant to you to hear those stories today?
I don't want to cry. It means that the thing you hear so often from victims of rape is that they feel that somehow they carry the shame, they're at fault, and that they're alone. One of the women mentioned, the way she worded it was, "We feel like we're sinking, and they can't recover, and they don't feel that they're respected, and they feel and many of them actually live in direct contact with the people who abuse them. So it's violation upon violation, and they're so broken, and yet they are so dignified. They are just extraordinary women. And so you see this courage and this elegance, but just eyes wet with tears, and you know that they live with this every moment of every day for 20 years, and they haven't told their children, and they don't know quite what to do. And so for me to be able to stand next to the Foreign Secretary of England and say, this government has launched this initiative, and we together do see you as extraordinary survivors, and we respect you, and we believe you deserve to be not only listened to, but to see justice, and to use those voices that you have to not just, they've been to the Hague, some of these women, and they haven't seen results. And so they need to start seeing results for what...
They're our inspiration, as I just told those women when we met them, because you can tell listening to them that, as Angelina says, 19, 20 years later, this is still something that makes reconciliation in a society like this dramatically harder, which is why this is all about preventing future conflict and resolving conflict, as well as being such an important moral issue.
But this has been a truth of conflict through the ages, and I have to ask you how you really think, however laudable your aim of preventing sexual violence in conflict is, whether you really think that you can do that, prevent it happening, prevent rape and war.
This is something that has been out of sight and out of mind for most people in the world. And it's still hard for people to talk about it, as it was for the people we've met this morning. So people have never really had to focus on it, and now we know about it. Here in our own continent, in our own lifetimes. It is not some distant thing at the other end of the world or far away in history. This can happen anywhere in the world, at any time where there is conflict, so it affects all of us. And I think we can do something about it if we succeed in creating the right international standards of investigation and prosecution, so that people really are punished, that justice is done when at least some of these crimes are committed.
Are you as hopeful, Angelina Jolie, as the Foreign Secretary, that something really can be done about this? You made a film which showed the lasting legacy of situations like this, which destroy not just individuals but their communities as well.
Yes, and that's I think the thing that people often, there's been this this perception that rape is something that simply happens in war, and it's not something that simply happens in war. It is an absolutely targeted attack to destroy families and to destroy communities and to destroy the women and men and children that are victim to it. And it's done not in a sexual way, in a horrendously gruesome way. And the perpetrators should be ashamed. They should feel vile. They should feel, not the victims. The victims shouldn't feel ashamed. And that's something that I think we can help to do. I think we can help to really make the people who commit these crimes, yes, we need justice. We need to see convictions. We need to see that people, simply do not get away with these crimes. That's what the victims need, and it's what the world needs to understand. If people can get away with them, then it becomes a standard, and it becomes something that we cannot tolerate. So it's justice, and it's evidence collecting, and it's and it's explaining to communities, you know, what this is, and to change their perception of it, so we can certainly make a dent.